Welcome everyone here at the International Wealth Builders Radio Talk Show. I am your host, Marie Antonette Waite, and we are live on KCAA Radio Network here in Redlands, California. I am so excited today because, my guest today is an international real estate lawyer. His name is Michael Polin. Michael, welcome to the show.
My pleasure. Good to see you as always, Marie.
Yes, I was so thankful for you when you attended my meeting here in San Diego, and you gave such an amazing information about international business, and that's why I have you here today because I want to learn more about it. And but before we start with that, I want to make sure that they understand your background. So if you can just give us some information of your background, how it all started for you, I think that would be awesome.
Great. That's cool. Um, you know, I've always done international business, so that's been a long time, 35 years. I've had offices in multiple countries around the world, done litigation, lots of places. Stopped doing that a long time ago, though. No more trial work for me, but now it's more fun, and I'm focused on real estate. And so, years ago, I would travel a lot, and I'd think, one day I'm going to retire. So if you do that, you got to buy some property somewhere. So that was always in the back of my mind. And so over the years, we started doing that. And, we had a pretty good success with that. And then I had offices in different countries. So I was able to meet a lot of people and ask their opinions and get their advice, etc. And so I developed quite a skill set in international real estate. So I've just spent a lot of time on it now. And so I just decided that I'm not really practicing law anymore in the sense of taking on clients for law. I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, I would help or I'd consult, but I'm not looking to do that.
Okay.
I'm more pseudo-retired. And because of that, what are you going to do in your retirement? Buy real estate. Let's go invest. Let's go look around the world and see where you can have passive income. Because in retirement, that's what you want, is passive income. So
Okay.
Real estate is the way to do that for sure.
All right, but you had many years of experience in China, am I right?
Good. 30.
30? Okay. So in those 30 years, I mean, what are the things that you are bringing from that experience to real estate?
Well, that's a different country. That's a country-specific question. Um, there's so much bad that went on with all those years too, but a fair amount of the good stuff. I learned really how to negotiate deals with difficult people. I learned how to do that, and I'm good at it. I learned how to look into deals, decide, is this really good for my clients or not good for my clients? And the most important thing to me is the end game. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing this? I got to make sure you're focused on that. Working with the Chinese for 3 decades, you learn quickly how to get to the point, and you learn quickly how to figure out what the other guy's thinking and whether it works or it doesn't work. And sometimes deals don't work. That's just fairness. But I stopped going to China about 7, 8 years ago. Still a lot of friends there. I still would look at deals there, but the government's tough to deal with.
Okay.
It's just that simple. Many other places around the world, at Belize, Panama. I mean, these are real places you can have a great investment in real estate.
Okay. What I learned from your presentation was that it is also there's a process of doing business internationally. And
Yeah.
the way you have described that is that you have to know exactly what you're doing and who you're connected with in those countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I'm interested in, letting our listeners know is how can they start something like this when, they don't have that kind of information? I mean, if they're not familiar with the country, I mean, is it possible for them to even invest internationally?
Those are great questions. Actually, you asked me, I think the other night, you asked me a question very similar to that.
Okay.
I mean, which I thought was a great question. Okay, look, Marie, let me just answer it with kind of an end answer first.
Okay.
You can't do it unless you have knowledge. So to answer your question, unless you have skill set, expertise, and experience, you cannot do it. And you're a fool if you try to, because you're going to lose your money. You don't know what you're doing. But the first part of that answer is, I decided the last couple of years I was going to create a company focused on educating people on buying international real estate. That was my focus. I said I'm going to do that. I did do that. And I created a course on this, which is called asset management for international real estate. And we're launching that at the end of this month. So your timing is really good. Okay. And
Wow,
so,
that is
we're launching it.
awesome.
It's intense. There's a lot there. I have over 10 hours of video expertise that I share. I go into lots of countries, lots of details and stuff. So there's no way to do it unless you do it. It's just,
Okay.
you'll fail. I mean, so
Okay.
I dig it. I really like what I'm doing now because it's very educational. I like the education side of it. But you got to be serious, Marie. It's not like buying a house in America. They're buying property here. It's not like that. There's so many nuances in other countries. First of all, I got to know the law. First of all, you
Yes.
don't know it. I got to know it. I got to know the regulations. I got to know the people who you're dealing with. Who are we bringing into this deal to help you? Lawyers, agents, notaries, land title people. You got to know how to do this stuff. I've done it. And that's why I'm sharing that knowledge now with the new company.
Okay. So you're allowing people to learn from your process. And at the same time, they have access to you in order to be able to be a part of that program. Am I right?
Yeah, that's well said. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so let's do this. Let's let's allow the listeners to get to know you more, Michael, because again, I know they know that you are an international real estate lawyer, but as an individual, as a person to work with, who is Michael Polin? I mean, can you share to our listeners who are you in regards to how you do business?
Okay, let me go call my psychiatrist and I'll get right back to you. Okay. Well, Maria, sometimes you have to look at your life a little bit in retrospective, right? So you have to say, who am I today and who was I? Because how did I get to where I am today, right?
Yes.
So, like Descartes, said, I think, therefore I am. I was a trial lawyer for a long time. And because of that, and did mostly international entertainment work, I got to know a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of styles. And you surely need to know how to negotiate deals. Otherwise, you'll never, ever be successful in front of a jury. That'll never happen. So I got all that experience behind me. And then I would travel quite a bit. And I always ask questions. So wherever I go, I ask questions, I meet people, I want to know their culture. Because the one thing you learn about the international business, you better know the culture you're going into. Because they're not American or Mexican or whatever culture you're from. It's not that. It's what they are. You have to know it. So the only way to do that is to go there and learn it, really. But I would say, as a person, I've turned into a focused educator. So my priority now is to educate people with my 35 years of experience. That's my focus. I've got a wife, I've got 2 kids, but they're grown. I have twin daughters. They're big. They're 30 years old, and they're out running the world, right? They don't need dad around. So that's why I'm able to kind of kick back a bit now and say, okay, I'm going to take people now into my world, and my world is traveling and buying real estate. So I'll bring you in if you want to be part of my team, want to come into my world. I'll give you the education, and we'll go from that point. So that's what I enjoy doing right now. I don't
Okay.
have to be anywhere. I don't have to go do anything. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And like I was telling you the other night in the meeting, it's like, at this point in your life, you better have passion for what you're doing. It doesn't matter to me what it is. Have passion or don't do it. Okay, it's a waste of time. I have passion for this. I have passion to educate people on international real estate, and that's why I'm doing it.
Wow, that is such a blessing for the people that are listening right now because they get to hear your program and they get to work with you. I mean, I have known you for a while now, Michael, and you've always been such an amazing connection of mine. And I know that you are very sharp as a lawyer. You are one of those sharpest people I know. And not only that is you are creative and innovative in so many different ways too, because you're doing all these things and you've done speaking in hundreds of in front of people. Am I right?
Thousands and thousands.
Thousands of people. Imagine that. You've got attorney Michael Polin here, who's done a lot of speaking in front of a lot of people, and then now you get to be able to participate in his program. And so let me ask you, if someone signs up into your course, what can they expect in regards to the process that they need to take from you, because I know some people might get so intimidated by Michael Polin because you're just a very straight person in regards to making the point. But how do you make them see the process of your program?
Okay, let me kind of answer that question in a way you won't expect me to answer it. Okay, let's pretend that my entire audience are juries, the juror members, because that's how I look at it. That's how I always looked at it. So I had to deal with juries for like 25 years. Okay, in big trials, millions of dollars, big trials. And the one thing you learn if you become a really good trial lawyer is this, and it answers your question. I need to be inside of their heads. I need to know what the jurors are thinking so I can help them get to where I need them to go. Now, that sounds simple as I say it. It's very difficult. Okay. And so, what I do with people that are not experienced in my world is I know going into the education process, Marie, I have to break it down for you. I got to break it down to bite-sized pieces where you can say, I can do that. I get it. I can do that. If I can get you to say, I can do that, I get it. Same thing as me getting a jury to say, oh, I understand. Yeah, Mike's right about that.
Okay.
I've
Man.
accomplished my goal. I've accomplished what I set out to do. And then at the same time, you need to feel comfortable because it's your money.
Yeah.
It's lots of money. You got to be comfortable going, okay, I can write a check for $500,000. I can write a check for 200,000, 300,000, or a million or more. Because I want to buy that property. And this is why I want to buy it. This is why what I can do with it. Because Mike's right about that. If I get you on that page thinking like that, I create confidence in you.
Okay. Well, let's take a commercial break, Michael, but I want to continue what you're saying in our next segment. So for you out there, it's such an amazing conversation right now with attorney Michael Polin. So don't go away. We will be right back. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, here at the International Wealth Radio Show.